Daddy's not gone. You see the light on.
Travel around the world. Over the phone, dropping tunes.
Your station for everything new. Power 95, where music lives. Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, agents for Western Union, and Beacon Insurance.
It's time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they are prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Good morning, everybody. I don't know, for some reason it's freezing in the studio this morning, so I keep forgetting because it's I have to always take it out of my thingy because I don't want it to get damaged. Because the feathers, they're very fragile. Yo, it's cold. It's cold in here this morning. I decided to take it down today. Selvin, I'm not even macron in our studio. I'm done with that chapter. Moving along. Yeah. Moving along, you know. I'm finished with that chapter. It's a wrap. Officially ended. That season officially ended yesterday. Anywho's, good morning. How y'all keeps? Hope everybody's well. Y'all had a Jackie, you plan to buy a wrap for me? Next thing and then I'll just starting to say only one wrap I have. I come in here every day with the same wrap. When I proceed to my vacation, I'll get me some more so I can have different colors. All right. The little 3 I have and go with everything that I'm wearing. So, Jackie, when you go up there, Jackie, you're here still or you gone already? When you go, please source some and I can retrieve them from you on my arrival. Anyways, morning earlier. No, little me, it could take potty and make earlier. 2 twos all it's on the neuron and telling me wait, and then on just still the same mouth on the neuron and say she ain't tired of them two rap on she head. That rap on them still me. Listen, if I don't know all you by now, I'll never know. What's that? If you don't know me by now, I'll never ever know you. If I know all you by now, I'll never know y'all. Who's here? Let me check in. Good morning, Christelle. Good morning, Shauna. Marianne, Roseanne, Queen Bee in the building. Julian Williams, good morning. Good morning, Natty, Nicholas, Shante, good morning. Sonia, good morning. Derek Coffey, good morning. Jacqueline, Jackie, J. Douglas Adams, good morning. Jay Laborde, Belinda, good morning. And thank you so much for giving me that idea for that topic this morning. Morning, Kata. Good morning, Candy Kiss. Good morning. Sugar Babe, good morning. Selvon, I thought you said yesterday it doesn't go live. I'm sure when I came off my live yesterday, I could swear I saw you on some live, but I was on a phone call, so I wasn't sure. And I'm like, that is not Mr. Ray. That's on a live, yeah. Anyways, good morning, Tarina, Cheryl. Good morning, Cheryl Forrester, Nakisha. Good morning is here. Yeah, Jackie, I know your mother have a lot. She have a lot, all kind of colors. So organize some for me, please. Good morning, Samasha. Good morning, Crystal, Andrea, Wise King in the building. Good morning, Karen, Betty. Good morning. How you pronounce that? Mutisi or Mutisi? Ah, yeah. Anyway, good morning. Good morning, Divine Destiny. Good morning, Roxanne. Um, and everybody that's here. Good morning, Shiloh. Um, Samasha, I just called it. There's a little delay, so you wouldn't hear it. Same time. Good morning, Linda Pearl, and everybody. Y'all coming in and share the live because I want to have this conversation this morning because it seems as though a lot of us have either been there or we're still there. Social media has just been busy and not for all the right reasons for the past couple of days. It's been busy. Yesterday I saw a young lady who went live and she was basically speaking on some things that occurred in her relationship and what's going on, and the whole day say he say she say whatever. But throughout everything, I felt her hurt and I felt her pain, and it's something that we've all experienced, well, if not all, at some point in our lives. We have experienced toxicity in relationships, and it goes both ways because there are toxic women and there are toxic men. So it's not just only men we attach that label to. They're from very toxic women, and we have to admit that. But as my Helen said this morning, why do we remain in those relationships? I'm trying to understand it. And of course, leaning on my own experience, I can speak on it to a certain extent. But why do we stay in toxic relationships? Now, this morning in my office jams, somebody requested this song and I pulled it. I can't play it because copyright thingy, Facebook, they're quick to pull your stuff for copyright infringement. Um, but this isn't the first time I've spoken about this song, and it is a song that I loved back in the day until I like maybe like 2 3 years ago I really listened to songs. When you're going through like a situation, like music seems to be the go-to thing, and there's a song for almost every emotion. If you're broken, you're hurt, somebody cheats on you, something, there's a song that you can relate to. So a lot of the times we turn to music, and at that period, music, I was listening to this song from how you name Luther Vandross. I think I spoke about it already, about this I'd rather. And I can't play the song, but let me just read a couple of the lyrics in this song for y'all. I thought some time alone was what we really needed. You said this time it hurt more than it helps, but I couldn't see that. I thought it was the end of a beautiful story, so I left the one I loved at home to be alone, and I tried to find out if this one thing is true, that I'm nothing without you. I know better now, and I've had a change of heart. I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with someone else. I'd rather be beside you in a storm than safe and warm by myself. I'd rather have hard times together than to have it easy apart. I'd rather have the one who holds my heart. And then I met someone and thought she could replace you. We got along just fine. We wasted time because she was not you. We had a lot of fun, though we knew we were faking. Love was not impressed with our connection built on lies, all lies. So I'm here because I found this one thing is true, that I'm nothing without you. I know better now and I've had a change of heart. Let me repeat the chorus again. I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with someone else. I'd rather be beside you in a storm than safe and warm by myself. I'd rather have hard times together than to have it easy apart. I'd rather have the one who holds my heart. Now, if that in a toxic relationship, I don't know what is, because this is you choosing to be in a relationship with somebody because they just hold your heart. When you can have good times with someone else, you rather have bad times with that person. When you can be safe and warm by yourself, you rather be beside the person in a storm. And then to have it easy apart, you rather have hard times together. If that song isn't bordering on toxicity and insanity, I don't know what is. Because you have an opportunity to be good with someone else, but because this person holds your heart, you're going to remain in a situation that you're not happy, but they have your heart, so you're going to stay. You rather be out in the storm than be safe and warm somewhere by yourself. Y'all ever sat and listened to this song? Like, and it dawned on me a couple years ago that this song is really promoting, you know, toxic relationships. And some would say, well, for better or worse, and and that is not love. It's not. Another incident that's been making the rounds on social media, I'm not too sure if you guys are in on it. It's with that rapper, what's his name? Blueface. And his girlfriend, is it Krishan or Christian Rock? Or, I think it's Krishan or something. These two have made a relationship, it's like he's out there, so they're public figures. He's well, basically he is, and she's his girlfriend, so of course she gets thrust into the limelight. And these two would have open violence, and I'm telling you, beating up on each other. There was even a point where there was an alleged incident which took place, they say, on August 18th, where which Blueface decided to share with the internet. And in the clip, he's heard saying she tried to run. You know what he did? He grabbed her hair by her hair so hard that it pulled it out of the scalp, and she has a big bald patch at the back of her head. That's to show how hard he grabbed her. That the entire patch of hair came out. And he's on live saying this, and she's there saying, "Don't show them my bald spot. Why you want to show people what you did to me?" And he answered, "I didn't do that to you. You tried to run." So then there was another incident on August 1st where they got into a physical altercation while walking down a Hollywood street. When I'm talking physical, like fighting each other in the street. But she would not leave. Even her family got involved. Her brother got involved in the whole hoopla. He says, where he told her, "Krishan, I love you so much, and over here hearing about you. Don't say nothing. Wasn't going to until you introduced us in person, because this is she's doing to you on the internet. It's not right. Our fathers raised us to protect our sisters at all costs. You're the youngest one. I know you love Blue, but I want to ask him, do he love you?" And I'm reading it exactly how he wrote it. I just want to ask, do he love you? And in her mind, this is love, because she continues to be verbally and physically abused, but still in a situation. And this is not judging anybody, because we've all been there. How many times we've been in relationships where it's not healthy, it's no good, it's not going anywhere, it's not making sense, you're unhappy, you're stressed, it's just no sense you being in the relationship, but we remain. And it all boils down to how we really feel about ourselves. A lot of us have a lot of self-esteem and insecurities that makes us remain in these situations that you should run from. And we make excuses for the person, knowing fully well that they don't even deserve a minute or second of our time. We make excuses for their behavior. So the question is, why do we stay in relationships Of course, I know we all how we feel about change. You're more comfortable, and this saying about better the devil you know than the one you're about to meet, or whatever, whatever. That is no excuse to remain in a toxic and unhealthy space. And it's not only young women. There's grown women in situations like that. Probably some even married and afraid to get a move on because they're comfortable. They don't want to uproot their level of comfort. They don't want to do it on their own, so they'll take anything because they don't want to leave, whether it's the home they built together or the life they built together. Outside of the relationship, some measure of comfort is there. It's my home and my husband and my wife and my, and you refuse to get up and do what it takes for your peace of mind. I'm not too sure how many of you here was on my live yesterday, but there's no peace. There's no price you can put on peace of mind. There is no price you can put on having a peace of mind. And while some might, have issues with you making certain decisions that affects your life, at the end of the day, remember, it is about you. It's not about them, it's about you. And there's no price you can put on having a peace of mind. So again, I'm asking the question. And when I look back at certain situations from my I could actually laugh now because I had to ask myself several times, but what were you really thinking though? If that's what a person is, that's what there's no changing. Nobody will change for you. They change for themselves when they please themselves and they're ready to. So no matter how much you do, doesn't matter if you cook 7 days a week, doesn't matter if you bathe the person, clothe them, feed them, they're not going to change for you. They're not going to change until they're good and ready to change. And I'm looking back and I'm like what possessed you? Why didn't you just leave at the exact moment you realize that something is off with this relationship, that it's not fulfilling you, that you're not happy, that you're constantly stressed, it's constant arguments, it's constant back and forth and the lies and the drama and all of that, but yet you remain in the situation and you make excuses for the person, and that excuse is, I love this person. That in love is not supposed to imprison you. Love is supposed to set you free. You should not feel like you're in prison and calling that love. That is not love. Why do we keep using love in situations where you're hurting, where you're unhappy? And even though you bring that to the attention of the person you're with, they do absolutely nothing to alleviate your pain or your hurt, or let me try. You know what? I know how she feels about me. Let me try. They make absolutely no efforts, but yet still you remain. What is this about people treating us badly that we stay and accept and we make excuses for that bad treatment? What is it about it? Why do we continue to stay in relationships that serves us in no way, shape, or form? You're being abused. You are not happy, but you remain in the situation. And I think, again, it all boils down to self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-love. Because if you're giving somebody permission to treat you badly, it says a lot about how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. Because that's what it is. You're giving someone permission to treat you badly, to treat you anyhow they feel like. And even though you know it's wrong, even though you're the one hurting, you accept it. So the saying that, we use sometimes loosely, that monkey know what tree to climb, they honestly do. Because people, when they see that they can get away with certain things around you, they will take advantage of that. If they realize they can take advantage of the situation, which includes you, they will, because they realize how you feel. Someone said something to me the other day and they were like, you know what? Whenever I fall in love or get into another relationship, I'm never going to let this person know how I feel about them. Like, I'm never going to give them the all, let them know, or because that gives them a sense of power over me, that they can manipulate my feelings and my love to their advantage. So she was saying, yes, I'm going to do everything I can to make the relationship work, but I'm never going to give you the feeling that, hey, I can't breathe without you, I can't eat without you, I can't live without you, that you're like my oxygen and all of that. I'm going to match his energy. Because sometimes people treat us badly, but we still go above and beyond for them. How about if we started matching energies? You give me 50, you're going to get 50. You're not going to get 51, 52, 50, 53, 54, 5. No. What you put is what you're going to get. If you give me 10, you're going to get 10. But a lot of the times, people give us 10 and we continue to give them 100. They give us 10 and we give them 100 instead of matching that 10. So obviously, if you see somebody doing that, what does that say to you? It's a word a lot of us don't like to hear. But sometimes we have to take responsibility, responsibility for ourselves. That is true as well. Kata, is that people stay in toxic relationships because they don't want to lose time they invest in. They believe it's the best thing they deserve. They hope their partner will change. They don't know how to get out. They're in denial. Self-esteem is low. You nailed it. But if you already invested the time, it's already gone. So why invest more? You can't take back time, doesn't matter what you do. Even if you stay, you could never regain the time that already left. It's now what, 11:23. I can't take back 11 a.m. That's gone. I have 11:24 now. I can't take back 11:23. So staying because you don't want to lose the time or you're invested. Listen, is it worth it? That's a question. So because you invested time or finances or whatever in a relationship, you are going to stay there until forever and ever. Amen. Because of that. So you're saying that you cannot start over again. You cannot invest in something else again that serves you, that you benefit from, that makes you happy. So you'll stay unhappy because of the time or finances or whatever you invested. That is insanity. Why are we given new days? Why do we have morning and night? Why do we have time, different times? It's because we can use it to do other things and to start all over again. Why do we stay in situations that don't serve us? Another person says people stay in toxic relationships because of kids, which is supposed to be a no-no. Love yourself enough to get away. Children know when parents, which parents does be wrong most of the times, and they watch the one taking abuse and wondering why. Case in point, I did. I asked my mother that for years. And a lot of the times people think staying, they're actually doing their children a good, but you're not. Someone says they stay to prove a point. Any point I have to prove is the use of damaging them. To prove what point to who? This ride or die and soulmate and Bonnie and Clyde, everything that comes with it. How does it make sense? Belinda says some of these people enter our lives when we are most vulnerable and they seem so genuine. It's like a breath of fresh air. Hallelujah. Amen. Then as soon as you get comfortable, you see a completely different person. I've been there. It took me some time to get out. However, I'm grateful for all the help I got. Truly toxic individuals will attempt to destroy you if you leave. This is a difficult issue for many women. Again, like I said, there are different places you can go. You don't necessarily have to fight your battles alone. That is why we have laws in place for to protect you, you know? So while it may be difficult, especially if it's a relationship you've been in for a very long time, married, you've built together, you've invested in things together, it could be difficult. That is understandable. But like I said, you can start over at any time. Holding on to something that no longer serves you, I honestly don't get it. And it all boils down to our self worth, as this person is saying, it's all truly how we feel inside. Yeah? I mean, everybody would love to have a relationship. You would love to have, and then with social media, you see so many vacations and you see so many bays and tagging and pictures and all of that. And, that can do a number on your psyche because you want that too. So you'll pretend to have it just so you can fit in when that's not what it is in real life. As this person says, self-worth is all truly how we feel inside. The messages that have been reinforced in us from childhood onwards affects our life choices. A lot of people have had adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, which create significant trauma that is not properly addressed or healed. And this in turn lessens the value we have for ourselves because we normalize dysfunctional, toxic, or atypical situations. Listen, you just wrote a book. You just nailed it completely on the head. And that is one of the things that I stressed heavily on in my life yesterday. Childhood traumas. A lot of people have unresolved childhood traumas that they've never seek to get fixed or get help to deal with or help to understand it. There's a lot of broken men and women walking around, and then you pass on that brokenness to your child or children because you have not dealt with it, you don't know how to deal with it, then it automatically passes on to the little person that you're tasked with the responsibility of growing into an amazing man or woman. So the cycle continues. So it's all well and good to talk about, oh, I have child or I have children. But I asked this question before and I'm going to ask it again. Are you being the best parent or parent to your child? Or are they going through the same things that you went through? Are they experiencing the same things you experienced because you don't know how? All you know is that way of life. You don't know how to be the opposite. How many of you tell your child or children that you love them on a daily basis? Not, oh, they know that I love them because I'm doing this. That's your responsibility. I shouldn't have to feel or try to figure out or wonder if I'm loved by my parents. How many of you actually say to your child or children, I love you? And not be, oh, well, I'm feeding them, clothing them, sheltering them. So what more they want? Have you attempted to break that cycle? Drea says, I was beaten up so bad a time when I blow my nose, it was blood coming out. Wow. Wow. So how is that love? How do you intentionally hurt a person and then you use love in the same sentence? How do you beat and pound a woman and then you claim that's love? How? Ellis says just because a man or woman desires you doesn't mean he or she values you. People keep cats just to get rid of mice. There's a lot of us who had a lot of work to do on ourselves, and unless you did that work, we shouldn't even be in relationships talking about loving other people. Candida says, love yourself before you love someone else. These kinds of abusive relationships just end up with a death certificate. Childhood scars from what type of relationship they experience from mom, dad, older siblings, aunts, etc. People in toxic relationships, Shiloh says, often feel embarrassed or to admit that their partner is abusive for fear of being judged, blame, marginalized, pitied, or looked down on. In this society we live in, people will make excuses for the abuser and not the victim. Oh, I know it all too well. I witnessed it, you know? I witnessed it. I lived it. I experienced it. You're the victim, and people turn around and victimize you even further. It's your fault that this person is doing that. Another person says it's also called the cycle of abuse. Um, it's also called the cycle of abuse. They constantly go through stages that leads back to the honeymoon stage, where the person does what they need to make amends and keep you in that cycle. Power and control is the driving force, is the driving force in unhealthy relationships. Jillian says, I would say I had loved him because he was sick and I was in and out of hospital with him, yet I still got blows. My eyes was black and blue. I stayed 2 weeks in the hospital. I stayed because of family issues. I stayed because I felt so worthless. I stayed because I felt like when I had nowhere to go, he took me back. So you're staying out of a sense of obligation. Like you felt like you owed this person something, and whatever came with that, you accepted it. So many comments. I'm trying to keep up. Someone says, for a person who's been there, it's hard for an outsider to understand. I think we all have to understand. Sometimes it's not necessarily lack of confidence. Sometimes we have to be smart in leaving because we can get our death. It takes a while to figure things out to leave. Again, it's easier said than done. We have to analyze so much. Leaving and not having a proper plan can get my death. So I have to figure it out properly. That is what I don't want. So I needed to have a proper plan. But if your life feels threatened, you cannot take that lightly. That is what the law is there for. And too many times we don't use it. We figure, you know what, I can figure this out on my own. I can do this on my own, and what have you. I've heard of situations where women were abused. They'll take it to the court, they'll take it to the police, and then when it's time to go to court, they wouldn't show up, or they say they want to discontinue the case. And tutus, you see them back with the person, and then it happens again and again and again. The Bobby says, I stayed in an abusive relationship for 6 years because I thought I will struggle without this man. Wow. Marlene says dependency shows up in many ways. For some people, being in a toxic, abusive relationship is similar to having a substance abuse problem. It's easy to say stop or walk away, but can you just tell an alcoholic to stop drinking and they're suddenly no longer alcoholic? It takes time, with willpower and lots of support that some people don't have. But the most important thing, Marlene, is a start, and some people don't start at all. They just remain in the situation with without making a move. Um, Samasha says, a time I was deeply in love. The man told me we done a drink 3 bottle of Stones wine. Then when the man come here, you feel that go make me stay with you, man. Itself is a sin. From that is the other way around. I'm not playing with them demons. A lot of people don't know how to deal with childhood trauma. This person says, and there's a stigma here about reaching out to a clinical psychologist for help. Another says, honestly, a lot of us stay in toxic relationship because it's not bad all the time. There are happy moments, and sometimes we think that, hey, that's the change I've been looking for, or this is a turning point. We see potential, but potential is not always a blessing, because the potential you see in someone can only go so far. Yet the person have to strive for that potential as well. They have to be invested as well. You see, and that's the thing about, narcissists. They know exactly what buttons to push. So they'll be very nice that they'll have you even questioning yourself. Like if you imagine the whole thing, that you didn't just, even though you have the scars to show that this person didn't just beat you to a pulp a minute ago, when they come back and they start love bombing you, it completely clouds your judgment. And you forget for a minute that, hey, this person was just beating up on you. But here he is being so nice and sweet, and flowers delivered on the job and lunch delivered on the job, and hey, let's go out, put on a nice dress. I bought you a bottle of perfume. Here's some money, do something, whatever the case might be. Someone says, I think most times people are scared to be alone after spending years with that person, scared of a broken heart. And that's another thing, too, because, as you get older, there's this fear that you're going to listen. If my peace of mind requires me being alone, then so be it. I'm not going to compromise on that. Staying in a relationship that's not serving you because I fear being alone. I came in the world alone. You didn't come with no man or woman by your side. You came by yourself. So if you have to leave it by yourself, because what's the point of being in a relationship and it's like you're lonely? That is one of the worst feelings ever, to be in a relationship with someone but you're still feeling lonely. Alone and lonely, but you're in a relationship with this person. Someone says, good morning, Aruna. You must say hello to the people online as well. We're here every day but cannot join your Facebook Live. Okay. Remind me to do that. All right. So shout out to the onliners, those of you who listen online but you're not in the room or listening on radio. My apologies. Yeah. Karen says hitting is not the only abuse. Mental abuse is really hard, extremely hard. I think somebody hits you, the pain goes away. But when you have to deal with that mentally, you keep on replaying over and over and over in your mind and have you questioning your self-worth to a point where you almost believe what this person is saying about you. So I'm always happy when I see women standing up and speaking on their experiences and calling out the people for the hurt they've inflicted on them. So even if it's one, I'm happy. It's a start. But at some point, I honestly believe it begins, it stops, it ends with self-love. Because we seem to think that, hey, the key to happiness is in somebody else's pocket or in somebody else's hand. And it took me a while to really, really realize that, hey, when you depend on someone for your happiness, that's a dangerous place to be. That is a dangerous, dangerous place to be. Dependent on somebody else for your happiness. Here's the deal. If you're happy by yourself, if you invest in yourself mentally, emotionally, whateverly, if you focus on building you and loving the hell out of you and being happy with you, whatever somebody brings into a relationship, whatever percentage they bring, when they take it and leave, nothing much changes. Yeah, you'll be hurt for a minute. Life goes on. But it wouldn't be to the point where you're like, oh, I can't live without you. I'm going to die. I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. Hello, look at me. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. How many of us thought that if we left a person or if a person left us, we were going to die? Yet we're still here. So if we start investing in our own happiness, whatever somebody brings into it is a bonus. They add to what we already have. But your happiness shouldn't be on 20% and somebody brings in 80. When they take the 80 and leaves, what happens? It should be the other way around. You're on 80 and that person brings 20. As a matter of fact, you're on 90 and they bring 10. So when you take a little 10% on happiness and go with it, what happened? Oh yeah, I probably miss you. I'll see certain things that reminds me of you, but I've got 90% of this happiness that I worked on by myself and built by myself. So there ain't much to it. So I really wish that we would spend more time investing in ourselves and being happy by ourselves, with ourselves, and stop putting our happiness on somebody else, making our happiness somebody else's responsibility. Nobody's responsible for making me or making you happy. That is my responsibility for making myself happy. A lot of the times you want to do something, but because the person may not like it, you don't. But it makes you happy. You want to go somewhere, you don't go because the person don't want to go. They don't like going. So you curtail your happiness to please that person. But when the shoe is on the other foot, they're going to do whatever they want to make themselves happy and forget you in the process. At some point, we have to stop for a minute and focus on what makes you happy. How much more do you need to invest to get your percentage up, your happiness percentage up? What more do you have to do? You can't keep pouring and giving everybody all your love when you're not giving it to yourself. Too many times we give and invest in other people, and when you do the math, it's uneven. When you weigh it on the scale, it's uneven. What you put in is way higher than what you get, and it's not balanced. There are people who they're like leeches, they suck everything out of you, but you get nothing out of them. You give them all your time, your energy, your attention, and when it's time to reciprocate, you don't get jack. Or you get a little ish, and they make you feel like you're supposed to be grateful for whatever you get. So at some point we have to know how much to pour in. And like I said, maybe if we start matching energies, we'll save ourselves a lot of heartbreak and heartache and stress. If the person give you 10, give them back their 10. Why are you giving 100 and they're giving you 10? Give them the exact portion that they're getting. Someone says, if you haven't shown yourself self-love, true self-love, then you are in a dangerous and abusive plane. Anyone who truly loves you would never lay hands on you. The fact you can't see you deserve better says you need counseling and a safe place to reside. Everyone can give you advice, but the truth is you won't do anything until you're ready to. Deidre said this topic needs to be revisited because there are so many people who can't be helped with continued discussion. I strongly agree. I think it's something we need to have a continuous conversation on because when you're as a child and they keep telling you that you're dunce and you're stupid, after a point you start believing that you're actually dunce and stupid, even though you're not. So if you keep hearing over and over those positive affirmations, you're beautiful, saying it to yourself. So much so if you're dressed and you don't get compliments from nobody, you're not hurt. Because when I look in the mirror and I see the reflection, I'll be like, yeah, boy, you get you today. That is the day. So when I open my door and I walk out the street and I don't hear it from nobody else, I ain't feel no way because I feel good enough for myself, by myself, with myself. I put something on and I don't like it. Nah. I ain't hitting today. Nah. And I put on something that I like. Yeah. That's it right there. Take your 2 selfie and you're on your merry way. Too many of us are seeking validation from other people and other things instead of validating our own selves. So the people you're seeking it from, you should be seeking it for yourself, working on yourself. Insecurity, seeking validation from John Public. John Public don't give 2 hoots about you anyways. Seeking validation is one of the biggest mistakes you can make because it's from people who don't care nothing about you. You go on social media, you post a picture, nobody likes it, you're upset, you're hurt. You like it. You like how you look, you like how you feel, but nobody likes it, and your world comes crashing down because nobody sees what you see. Nobody ain't like your picture. You ain't get enough likes. But you liked it enough to post it, so that's enough. Even if nobody likes it, when you pass by and you see it every time you scroll up or down and you see it, you smile because you like it. This constant need for seeking validation from outside instead of from yourself and inside. You'll never be happy and fulfilled if you have this constant need for validation from other people, their opinions of you, how they feel about you. I wouldn't say that. There's somebody for everybody. Relationships are very nice when you both do the work and you're both on the same page. So I wouldn't just say single life is the best. We weren't meant to be single. That is why there were 2 people. They say when God made Adam, he realized he needed a companion, so he threw Eve in the mix. Could I leave Adam to fight up and pull the business and make himself happy when he feel like it? But no, it gave him companionship. I mean, he didn't work out the way he's supposed to work out because he do his own thing, but that's another story by itself. But it's a beautiful feeling when you're in a relationship where you're both on the same page, where the respect is mutual, where you can communicate effectively. When this person can tell you how they feel and there's no hard feelings, it's coming from a good place, it's coming from a place of love, it helps you bloom. There's no better feeling than having your partner say to you, hey, I don't like this. So and so is the case, let's do this. And they watch you blossom and grow, not beat you down and make you feel away, make you feel a how. Listen, I don't care what nobody says. It's a beautiful feeling to be in a relationship where you're on the same page with the person and they uplift you and they want you to be better, do better. They want you to grow in every way, shape, or form, whether it's career-wise, whether personal lives. They just want you to be better. And no better feeling than that. It is one of the best feelings in the entire universe to click, to be compatible with somebody who understands you. It really is. So as much as you might enjoy being single, according to Sheldon, you can't sleep leg in leg single. Nice rain falling and you're just there together, leg in leg. You have a little music playing and you're just talking about any and everything. And you're in your comfort zone, you're in your little house, in your home, in your own space. You're not in nobody's way. It's a good feeling. Imagine single life is the best because now we have social media and we have Facebook and all these things to keep you company. But imagine taking away all of that. Take away all of that and what you're left with. A partnership is an incredibly beautiful thing if it's with the right person, where there's mutual respect. I'm not saying you're not going to disagree because you want to be with somebody that everything you do, yes, you're right, you're right, you're right. After a while, it becomes monotonous and boring. But when they challenge you to be better, when they speak words of positivity in your life, when they sow seeds, when they help you to grow, they want you to be better and do better, and no better feeling than that. It's something we all strive for. But unfortunately, people come into relationship with different motives, and it don't necessarily work that way. But there are people who can attest to having a beautiful relationship with their partner. It's something that a lot of people strive to have. It is a fantastic feeling. And Janelle self. Janelle, you shouldn't even be talking about who needs a man because you have a whole milk who needs a man when there's Facebook. You're living the life now. And I'm sure you're in a happy place because of that. I'm sure you wouldn't trade that for the world. So don't encourage nobody to have Facebook and you have your whole man. You see all you send people and follow and give people bad advice? Oh, nice man. But sending us and shack up with Facebook. No. There's something for everybody. But like I said, there comes a point when you have to realize it ain't for me. So you got to keep it pushing. You let me talking all the time. Nobody can tell me why is it time. Anyways, to the person who suggested we do something like this often, I think so. But I think I need to get some clinical psychologists on board to help me with this conversation. Can't just be based on personal feelings. We have to get it from a clinical perspective, to see why and get to understand why people really, really stay in these situations. So I'll work on that this weekend, and hopefully next week we can have somebody to speak to us on that and put us in a better light. All right, so that's it for this week, guys. Thanks so much as always for checking in and contributing to the show. I'll see you guys same time, same place, Monday, God's will, for another show. Until then, be safe and stay powered up. Thank you so much, Beacon Insurance and Western Union, for checking in with us today for another week. Have a good one, guys.